Do you want to get ready for 5D? Let's talk about what is 5D? How do you know if you're in 5D? How do you get to 5D? What does that even mean? What does that have to do with the Great Awakening, the Golden Era, shifting out of the pain of the planet? I'm going to explain all of it to you. And if you really get in tune with what I'm going to share with you, and this is really important information, nothing is going to stop you from going to the new earth of peace, love, and joy that you've never experienced as a human being before. You ready to go there? Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. I was crying because I just produced a meditation for the Miracle Circle Lesson 6, Topic 5, going into the quantum field. What does that mean? What is 5D? What does any of this mean? Why? What's my purpose? What am I doing here? Why are we such jackasses? It's programmed that way. All right, we're going to talk about 5D, what's happening, what's coming, and again, my same message. If you don't shift into this, you don't want to wait to the last minute when stuff happens out there that you're entangled with because you're not in a higher frequency. It's going to be that simple. Every universe, and there are endless universes. How can there be an endless universe? The universe is endless. We can't comprehend it as a human being. Every universe has its own natural laws. Why is that? It's like if you are a game player, every game is different. It has different things that go on, different playing pieces, different boards, different goals to win, and different rules. This is no different. This universe has universal laws that we must abide by. Things here on earth like gravity and perceived limitations. Free will is one of the things we have been blessed with that doesn't exist in all galaxies or planets in our universe. But the universal laws are the same, and that is why other beings are so interested in what happens here, because it does affect them. What is 5D? And why do we keep talking about this? The fifth dimension is not a place that you are going to try to achieve to get to. It's not a place to get to. It's a shift. It's just a shift that could happen right now. Will you be on the same planet? Yes, you can be on the same planet. You will be in a different dimension, functioning differently, entangled with different frequencies. Your frequency matters. In order to go into 5D, you have to go to a higher frequency. I will explain something I have personally experienced that I didn't even know what it was. That was a pure demonstration to me of what that is. When I was in my super awakened state, for several years by the way, came down a little, just like Eckhart Tolle explains. You can't stay up there forever because you're in the real world, let's just say what we perceive as the real world, the material world, which does affect us. And in order to function here, we have our own mission, and we have to come down a little bit from the la-la place that we're in. Otherwise, we can just transition to the other world. I was in this space of super awakening where I got answers, was told a lot of things. I just knew. I call it the knowing. Some of you have experienced this. During the knowing, I experienced love beyond human comprehension. You can't even explain it to other people. It's so beyond what we associate love with. That euphoric feeling that goes even beyond that. It's so expansive and huge. When you go into an awakened state, you become expansive. And awakening isn't here. Like you're here and then you go here. Yes, you can transition to it like that, but it's usually a journey that gets you there, and then complete letting go of the ego can pop you into a different dimension and a different reality. So Eckhart Tolle can be in the same room with everybody, functioning completely different, feeling completely different, experiencing a completely different reality in the same room. All right? That is how 5D is going to function. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about this. When I was in my awakened state, I experienced seeing things different. Now I read one of his books years ago, and I realized, oh my gosh, that's what I had experienced. He was talking about you actually physically see things different. Why? Because you're no longer completely in your body. You're expansive. So when you're in the ego, things are smaller, they coil up, they're dense. You know, it's about me, my story, poor me, why me? And then you're like, no, that's not my ego. I was just, came here and had a horrible childhood. Yeah, get over it. Shut your pie hole. You know what? Get in line. Everybody has a story. If you dwell on that, you will never go into the higher realms. You'll never go there. You can stay in the dense story of which you've created something horrible about that. You're not learning from it. You're not evolving. It's so important for you to evolve. Your journey here is evolution. When you go into the state and you let go of the ego, you actually expand into the quantum field, and you not only can go out of your body, that'll happen like spontaneous. It's not like you plan it. You can actually pop out once in a while and go, whoa, okay, what was that? Because you're going in between the material world and the world, the quantum world of all intelligence that's unseen to us as human beings. You'll actually start to see things there. All right, so I actually saw things so vividly. It wasn't painful. It was so vivid, like you could see a speck of dust, and everything was so intense. Colors were intense. I almost saw different kind of colors. It was, you would sit in the room and be fascinated because everything looked so different. And I asked a friend of mine who studies Eastern religions and Buddhism and other things, and he's a highly spiritual guy, and I said, I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna sound really weird. This was many years ago. And I said, I'm seeing things differently. I mean, like, it's bizarre. It's almost like somebody just pulled, all kinds of lenses off, pulled them all off, the veil. He says, oh, you have the fourth sight. What? You know what this is? He says, yeah. It's a state of awakening where you're actually going out into this field beyond the material world, and you're starting to see things that are magical. Magical, it's the power of the universe. And he said, so the more you go outside of your body, the less dense and confined you are. Your powers will be massively amazing. But the 5D world of the new earth is a frequency of love. And it's not the ego. Now, here's what I want to share with you. If you want to go into that state, you have to live it now. Even if you're not in that awakened state, even if you're not experiencing those feelings, you have to, you must, it is a requirement to live exactly the way the 5D world would live. So you have to give up. This is the release of the ego. You must give up any thoughts of negativity, anger, separation, the world is a problem, poor little me, my parents were jackasses, oh, I lost my love, whatever. Hey, you know what? You don't lose anything. So, spiritual butt kick. Why do I get like this? Because you're so freaking amazingly powerful. And it's time for you to recognize this. It really is. And get out of your head, because you're the only person choosing those thoughts. If you are not living, thinking, believing, acting in the manner of a 5D world, that is one of pure love, giving, abundance, health. And even though some things will exist there that still test us, they are not coming from a place of, let's say, I don't want to use the word evil, but let's say low density, right? Harm, anger, it doesn't exist there. So if certain things happen, it still is our ability to continue to evolve spiritually, because that never ends, by the way. No matter how awakened you get, there's still levels and levels and levels and levels. Now, I told you I actually had a being this was during dream state, talk to me, and we were out in the cosmos, and I said, whoa, okay, I ran into this guy, and I said, you're not, and I'm thinking, this isn't God, because, I just knew it wasn't God, but I knew he was like high up there somewhere, and I shared this with you guys a while back, and he said, no. I didn't say, are you God? He just knew what I was thinking. He said, no. He said, I oversee the galaxy. He said, there are others I answer to. There are 9 of us. I said, you answer to somebody else? To something else? He says, yes. We oversee galaxies, the universe. He said, I'm not alone. In other words, even he had others above him and above him and above him. And then the 9 probably has something above and above and above. And so there's organization within these energy fields. Now, he's showing himself to me as a human being. Beautiful guy in a robe, right? What would I like to see? Sort of like a Sean Connery in a robe. Yeah. So that's exactly how they appear. And things appear to you so that you will connect to them and be at ease. I'm sure he's just a light being, an energy field of some kind. Now, when they oversee the natural laws, we are part of the game that is allowed free will. And if you don't shift over, and by the way, anybody can do this. This is not like, oh, I'm more evolved and you're not. You hold equal power to me. You can go into the awakened state, just like Eckhart Tolle did, Eckhart Tolle, boom. He had a whole lifetime of pain. That wasn't overnight. He just let go. He was like, I'm going to die. I'm going to kill myself. So there's nothing to think about anymore. And like, bing! Oh, 2 years on a park bench in euphoria. That's what can happen for you. And that's what I'm trying to tell you is what happens out there, what's coming next. Because we're going to have a series of things happening depending on how we treat the planet and one another. Right? It's all dependent on that. That's why you go run around and find predictions all you want. You're going to find out that people can predict certain, let's just say, energy events happening, but they can't predict the details of anything because we're always changing it at every moment. All right? So we can change anything right now. And if you start to live, now imagine this. If every person lived as though they were in 5D, is this a 5D thought? Nope. Then I have to go to 5D thought. Is this a 5D action? Nope. I'm putting myself first. Let's go to this. If we all lived that way, we would all be we'd just shift into 5D. The world would be 5D. Why? We'd go into such a high frequency, all of us would, and the planet frequency would raise like it has been. And then we would actually be living in euphoria because we'd be awakened beings on this planet. And everything on this planet would respond to that because we are connected to the trees and the dolphins and the birds. And everything else would be treated with total respect. There'd be no toxins, nothing. We would be in 5D. It would just happen. And all you have to do is change one person, you and me. You don't change me, I change me, and you change you as the human being, as the role we're playing, as the little pieces on the board. What's the end game? Raise that frequency, go shift this planet into something amazing. And so each player has their own experience on that board. This is coming. Don't wait, and don't think that you're taking sides is you doing something great. It's you in density. Being a human being in conflict, as we always have been. 100% focus on the peace and the shift into something amazing, because it exists. If you want to shift into the peace and the euphoria that awakening presents, you have to be that person. Big shift. Big shift. It's happening right now, and so many people are going into, and a lot of people are experiencing that world right now. And getting all kinds of bizarre, mystical, cray-cray things happening that are so much fun. Not going into fear and saying there's nothing to fear, because when you're high frequency, you're aware that everything's expressing itself out there. It's just part of the expression of the universe. And that all these amazing beings are always with us, always guiding us. Just ask for the help, but you have to make the effort. You have to do it. And when you do your life review, it isn't going to be what you accomplished for yourself. It's going to be what you accomplished for others. We are one. If you want this, it starts today, my friend. What can you do in the midst of this chaos that you might be experiencing? Am I acting, thinking, believing in 5D? Am I treating my body in that manner? Am I using products that would be allowed in a 5D world? Got to work on that. Come on over to Miracle Circle. I help you to do that. I just did the 5 meditations in lesson 6 for you to help you get in touch with this body and the systems in here, this energy that flows through them. It's always talking to you. Push this energy out. Get in touch with everything that you don't see. It's intelligent. Everything's intelligent. Because everything's one thing. It's the intelligence of the source, of one, of God, is everything. You're it. Come on over. Check out, if you guys are interested in internet marketing businesses, let's get training. Highly spiritual people creating amazing businesses online, changing people's lives in a positive way. Manifest Anything, free video series, come on over. My Miracle Circles, less than $30, an entire month, live session. And I've got so many other things. I have a free mobile app for you called What Am I Manifesting? Triggers you all day. What am I manifesting? And then I give you 2 to 4 minutes to try and help you to reprogram any negative thoughts, help you catch those. Because it's going to take some practice. But you can do it. I know you can. Why? Because you're the one. You're the power of the universe. It flows through you. It flows through everything with no separation. What you do to another, you do to yourself. What you do to the least of us, you do to me, said Christ. Howie. All right, you ready? Let's do it. I know you can do it. No more poor little me. Because you're amazing. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful. Please subscribe and share these. Loving, harmonious, and happy. I'm going to help prep you and prep you and prep you, but you have to make the choice and the effort. And when you do that, our frequency starts to go up. And by the way, I've been feeling it big time lately. Big time. I feel like there's an expansive field going on out there that is being tapped into and used. We're tapping into it as humans. It's happening. If you're not feeling that, if you don't feel that power, then start working on it. You can get there. Meditation's key. I have a ton of meditations in my playlist. The Connecting with the Quantum Field is the most popular one. People have had unbelievable mystical experiences from that one. And I'm going to post more meditations for you guys. You seem to really like them a lot. They work. Why? You are the power of the universe. Start using it. But let's do it in the most amazing, beautiful, loving, unconditional loving way. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.